What you wanted from the tape? You can reveal, obviously.
I don't hide anything. Here's what I felt from the tape. Just a couple things. So our number one defensive key against Idaho State was rebounding the ball. We gave up 2 offensive rebounds. Partly it helped us because they were getting 5 back, right? But when you look at the film, I'm like, everybody was getting a hit consistently. Like everybody was getting a first hit and a second hit or an eye check, and so I was super pleased with that. I was really happy about that. I was really, really pleased with how our guys followed the scout. It was a pretty simple scout, but we guarded some actions differently, and we kind of installed the defense in the 2 days leading up, and the guys executed it actually to perfection. Like we had no breakdowns. Actually, we were guarding their fire a different way. We were guarding their basic a little bit of a different way. We were guarding their horns. We were guarding a different way. Their whole horns package, we were guarding a different way. And we actually had 0 errors in terms of guys remembering how we had game planned that out. So I was super happy about that. I was frustrated with us in terms of we made it hard on ourselves, earning power plays offensively, just with our post, our rim run post just being in there all the time. So we're making an adjustment there to try and earn us some more space while still keeping the initial thrust. We actually missed more guys than I thought we did. We were up to the 11, 12 number in terms of opportunities offensively where we missed the next pass. And so I knew the ball was super sticky, but I felt like it was kind of schematic and a little bit of decisiveness where we actually did just miss opportunities. Learned a lot.
How would you categorize or characterize the competitive spirit of your players?
It's growing every day. I think it's a work in progress. I think you learn how to compete. Actually, you have to learn how to compete. I know that sounds crazy, but at elite levels, you have to learn how to compete at that level. And so it's a process, certainly a process for young guys, for freshmen. Like, it is a process. And for guys who haven't played in games before, it's still a process because you got to be on the court and feel it and be a part of it. So this group is young and new, and so we're going to learn all year long what it means to really compete. The last few years, we've had some really incredible teams in terms of their competitiveness. They're willing to go just fight and grind through it. And guys understanding, like, what is actually the price of winning? That's what not very many people know is the price of winning. There is a price. There's a price of admission and a price of winning, right? And so that's something our team is going to learn as we go.
How much have Rudy and Jackson, kind of the additions of them, sort of their backgrounds in other colleges, what have they sort of contributed to the competitiveness, the competitive nature of the guys?
I think both those guys have some experience. I think Rudy is pretty vocal, and I think he's learning how to compete the way we do also, right? And Jax is also young in terms of minutes on the court. He's really young. So the one thing that both those guys have done is they've been in different programs and seen it a little bit. So they have diversified experience, but they're both on a learning curve also, and I'm super excited about it because they're both learning fast.
Last time you went to Viejas, it was an empty gym. Is this group ready to take on an Aztec team?
Wait, is that not the way it always is in there? Yeah, I'm super excited. Like, I love great college venues, and this Viejas Arena is a great college venue. There's no two ways about it. And it's the building's great, but it's their fan base is ornery and creative and disruptive and crazy, and it's what you live for as a college basketball player, is to be able to walk into a gym like that and play. And so it's super exciting for us. We actually don't go to that many venues because there's not that many that feel like they have some type of like Marriott Center juice, right? Where you walk in there and like, wow, this is really something. But this Viejas Arena is one of them. So we're super excited to go play, and we understand the challenge we face. Not a lot of people go there and win ever. And so it's super exciting for us to have the chance.
You talked about giving up some control of yourself of the offense and how you're fighting the urge to call plays a little bit last game.
Yeah.
When you watch the film, do you feel more confident in that decision, or where are you kind of at in terms of your own personal urge to call plays?
Yeah, we were way more productive when we were play calling in the Idaho State game. So, but that's the way it's gonna be. Like this is, when you chase a high ceiling deal with a low floor, you just have to grit and bear it through the frustration. And so we were in practice today and we have some frustration. We're trying to like find that balance between giving our guys enough to kind of work with and also not and forcing them to become thinkers on the court, right? And forcing them to make reads on the court. And we're still trying to iron out how that process works. We're kind of swinging really high on that right now, and we'll see. We'll see.
With the amount of history that's in this matchup, is this a series that you want to maintain?
Yeah, I mean, come on. This series is so fun, and it's got such incredible history. I mean, it's probably, I don't know, is there a series we have that's got more history than this one? If there is, there's not many, right? And I love Dutch, and I love this game. I mean, it's two really, really probably different approaches to the game. It's the last 3 years it's been two top 25 teams every year, and we have a history of having really high ranked teams playing each other. And so I love the series. We'll see if we can make it. I just don't know, but let me find out who's going to be in the Big 12 next year, and I'll start making some decisions on that.
Mensa and Bradley are back.
I know.
And Trammell and Seattle guard. What do you make of this personnel, the matchups they pose?
Well, the one thing I can't remember the number. 7 of 9 or 5 of 7 of their top 7 or 9 rotation guys are all seniors and super seniors. Like, this is a veteran team, and they're big and they're physical, and so that's really imposing. I mean, that's really they have a chance. Like, they really got a chance this year. They're so old and they're so big and they're so experienced, and so they're really good. And this Trammell is a problem. He's super creative offensively, kind of 3-level scorer and super creative scorer and make bad shots. And he's a big assist guy and a big steals guy. Seattle was kind of a stat stuffer. And Mensa, obviously, like, we've had our fill of Mensa. I mean, my gosh, when I found out he was coming back, I was like, this is really tough, because he's such a dominant. He's best shot blocker in the country, probably best rim protector in the country, and his offensive game continues to grow. He's way better offensively than people give him credit for, as a passer and as a scorer and as a post player. And then as Bradley has been an elite level scorer for a long time. He was at Cal and he's at San Diego State. And then you keep going down the list. This Lede's transfer from TCU is a real problem, and they have a terrific team.
Coach, you mentioned the challenge of San Diego State. What are the positives and maybe some of the drawbacks of getting that type of challenge, basically game 2 of the season?
Well, I would prefer if it was game 10, actually, especially with this new young group. But we know this season about us getting better and about growing. And so we're going to get, this group that doesn't really know what the highest level of basketball looks and feels like. For the most part, we have a couple guys that do. But for the most part that doesn't, we're going to get to find out game 2. Like, we're going to really find out. And so I like it because you get to use it as a measuring stick. We come out, we have every expectation of going down and coming out with a win. We expect to win every game. But win or lose, we come out of this with like, yep, that's what it looks like, and that's what it feels like, and that's where we got to go. And then you get to walk in every day practice, and you get to remind yourself of how hard it is to win that game. And it's super functional that way. So in that sense, it's a gift to get it early. These really, really competitive early games are good for you in terms of growing.
Kind of similar to that, what did you find out about Dallin the other night when he made his, official debut in the BYU uniform? It got down to crunch time, and you kind of looked at him and said, go run the offense, kid. And I thought he did an all right job. Yeah,
I thought he did a terrific job. I was really pleased with him actually defensively. He was really solid defensively. I was really pleased with him. I was really pleased with his urgency. In the game, he was helping us just make a little sense out of the nonsense of what our offense was. And so that was the real feel during the game. And then post-game, really watching the film, I was like, he was super solid defensively. And, probably his biggest play of the game was the steal, the trap with under a minute left. And second biggest play was kind of his verticality at the rim after we turned it over, and they had a breakaway layup. And so, he made 2 huge defensive plays down the stretch that were probably more impressive than the offensive plays he made. He's a competitor. He's got a big heart. He wants to learn and get better. He's got some leadership skills, and that's why we recruit him so hard, and we're so excited to have him here. He's going to be a really good player.
More questions? On the flip side of that, how's Rudy's response been in the last couple of days?
Yeah.
Have you felt the need to talk to him at all, or not really?
Yeah, I talk to all the guys every day, especially debrief. We couldn't yesterday because of the election and some of the rules, but spent a lot of time with him today. Rudy is a veteran. He knows the deal. Like he would be the first to tell you that he was not pleased with how he played on Monday, but that happens to every player. I mean, that's going to happen to every guy on our team. And so I think he's really hungry to dial in and establish who he is and how this team is going to run. And I got a ton of confidence in him. And he's a terrific player, and he's going to have a great season for us. So, we spent a lot of time. This game is super artistic also. Anybody that talks about this game in absolutes with only a few things notwithstanding is kind of shortchanging the game. And so we spent a lot of time talking about the brushstrokes of the game and the innuendo of the game, and he's going to learn that really fast. He's smart.
Mark, I know you're immersed in San Diego State, but there's been reports out there that the Big 12's talked with Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Curious your thoughts if possibly the Zags came along the Big 12, your thoughts on
Yeah,
potential situation.
I mean, add the Zags and add the Celtics. I mean, why not? Like, how can we make this league any better? Like, it's ridiculous. But I love, listen, it's what we signed up for. So why not make it the best league in the world by 100 times? It's only 50 times better than every other league. So I'm all for it. Like, if it works for the Zags and it works for the Big 12, like, why would we not want it? It's just awesome. I love, Coach Few is so incredible. Then we'd have the team that's been ranked number 1 in the country for the last 3 years and the last 2 national champions, right? So why not just put it all in there together? I think it's pretty exciting.
Top 4 in Ken Palm last year, too. Houston as well.
I mean, it's, that's what they did. They just said, okay, we'll take all the best teams and throw them out. It's fun. It's really fun.
G League Ignite while we're at it?
What's that?
G League Ignite while we're
Yeah,
at
I
it?
mean, come on. Like, let's go for broke. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you. Take cookie, please.